Hello Internet, so nice to see you. I have a great question that one of you asked in the comment and I want to give an answer to that.
We've lost the point that technique is a tool, and every single one of us will use it depending on how we process our music playing. This means what works for me maybe won't work for you and vice versa, and it's okay.
And you see, I really want very much to agree with that, but the thing is, I don't. It's still a great comment, but I don't agree with that because there are reasons why some things work for me and some things don't work for me, or some things work for you and some things don't work for you. And those reasons are not all the same, okay? Meaning that sometimes you just got used to do something that is inefficient, and having somebody showing you the efficient way can improve your playing. Then you can decide if it's worth checking that and changing your habits and go to the more efficient playing or not. But the thing is, sometimes technique is just the efficient use of your hand anatomy to play. I'm gonna give you an example, okay? And as all the example I'm gonna make today are controversial. I'm telling you immediately. All the example I'm gonna make today are controversial because it's so easy to do the other thing, okay? Because at first you just don't see the difference, and then you get used to do one thing, not the right thing, and then you get stuck in there and all this kind of thing. So for instance, let's say I want to play a scale, okay, and I'm going to play a scale using the 3-note per string system, which is another controversial thing, okay, at this point. But let's say I want to simply play on the 6th string. I'm playing fret number 3, 5, and 7, okay? So I have to play 3 notes, and those notes are always 2 frets distant, okay? There is no question that the first note is played with your index finger, and no question that the last note is played with your pinky. But some people play the center note with the middle finger, and some people play their center note with the ring finger. Okay? And at first, there doesn't seem to be much difference in there. Okay? But here's the thing, there is a clear answer on which one is the quote-unquote right one. And with right, I don't mean morally right, that you are superior if you do it, okay? What I mean is that it's easier to play one way than the other, especially when you go up to speed, or you start to play the scale not in a straight way but sequences, or you have to put different things and be more versatile in what you play, like phrasing and other thing. And the thing is, you want to play the center note with your middle finger. And now you can hear half the audience going yay and the other half of the audience going no. Okay, but don't worry, okay? It's up to you to decide if you want to change the habit. But let me first explain why. Because of the anatomy of your hand, okay? The middle finger is at the center of your hand, okay? And whenever you have this kind of thing, whenever you're a note at the center of the extreme, it's easier to reach with the middle finger. The span between, the stretch you can do between the middle finger and the index finger is bigger than the stretch you can do, or at least not bigger per se. If I push here and if I push the ring and the pinky, I get comparable and if not even more stretch on the ring and pinky. But if I try to do them under their own power, so not pushing it, it's easier to stretch the index finger than stretch the pinky and the ring. Okay? It's not so much that the middle finger is better, it's that the ring finger is worse. The ring finger is the weakest finger of your hand, surprisingly. Ask any piano player, okay? And it's the finger that has less control. So, whenever you play this kind of thing, it's very natural, anatomically speaking again, to play with the center note with the middle finger. Some people do this with the ring finger, but what happens is that when you start doing legato, etc., they have more difficulty learning that. When you are a beginner, attention here, when you're a beginner, when you start doing this, everything feels awkward, okay? So it could be that when you start, the ring feels slightly less awkward to you, and so it feels like it's the right way. But believe me, I've seen that when people get more and more advanced, the difference increases. Now attention. Because I know you guys are gonna scour the internet, search every corner of the earth, leave no stone unturned, and find at least 1 or 2 famous musicians, if not dozens, that use the ring finger and not the middle finger. And then you're gonna come back here and tell me, but you see, Tommaso, this person uses this, so it's possible. Yes, it is possible.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Okay? It is perfectly possible, but which one is easier? Even for the people who are very famous and play with this finger, if they started the other way, it would be easier. Practically every time I take a student and I change this little habit, they start improving faster. I haven't seen an exception yet, and I've seen a lot of people, okay? Now, of course, if you are already famous, or if you already been playing for 20 years, if your muscle memory is already with the ring finger, I am not saying that you have to change this habit. You are already there. You already solved the problem, okay? You could have solved the problem probably in a shorter time or with less energy the other way, but your solution, now you have the solution. There's no point in coming back and relearn, okay? Yeah! Just saying it. I'm not saying that you are wrong. I just said you went down a longer road, okay? But now you're dead, now you're here. Don't come back just because you want to come here the shorter road. There are other very good reasons to use the ring finger, the middle finger, okay? And again, remember, I'm recommending the middle finger. But for instance, once I had a student who had a carpentry accident, yeah, the stuff of nightmare, and he lost a finger. So let's say that you lose the middle finger, okay, or you have other problems. I've interviewed a few players, and I'm not going to reveal their names because they asked me not to, that have focal dystonia on the middle finger. So essentially they cannot move the index finger, the middle finger, even if it's perfectly sane, it's perfectly healthy, but they cannot move it. It's a kind of a neurological condition. In this situation, of course, learn to play with the ring finger, okay? So if you're talking about those situations where your hand has a problem and the middle finger is not up to shape to play this way, of course you're going to use the ring finger. I mean, that goes without saying, no, it's kind of logical. But if your hand is perfectly intact and your neurology of your hand is perfectly intact, okay, and you have no other problem and you're getting started, the recommendation is always going to be use the middle finger because you're going to improve faster, okay? Yes, technique has to work for you. And technique may also depend on your goals. If you come to me and tell me, Tommaso, I do not want to play scales ever, well, I'm going to try to convince you of the opposite, of course, because I mean, scales work in every single style. But if you're adamant and you tell me, I never want to play scales, then we're not playing scales. You're never going to do these simply because you're not playing scales. But the moment one of your goals involves playing scales, there is one easier way to play scale that works best with your anatomy, okay? And by the way, also, everything I said is depends on the idea that you are holding your hand correctly. If your hand is not held correctly, your elbow is out, your thumb is in the wrong position, and all this kind of thing. And then in some position, of course, the ring finger is going to feel easier than the middle finger. But that's because the whole hand position is in the wrong position. And again, when I say wrong, I don't mean morally wrong. I don't mean you are an inferior person, come on. I just mean that you're making your life harder, okay? If we change the position and you get used to the new position, which is weird at first, then it's gonna be easier to improve. So that's the thing with technique. It has to work for you. It may depend on your goal, but once you have a specific goal, most of the time, there is one answer, one technique, one system that works faster than the other and works better than the other, even if it feels weird at first. Now, you guys notice how many disclaimers I put in this video, okay? It's if everything is intact and you have no problem, if you are a beginner and you haven't spent 20 years learning, if you have a specific goal, if. Okay, so everybody commenting that I'm wrong, please explain me how all those disclaimers don't apply. Because you're gonna see this discussion happening, you're gonna see a lot of people commenting down, and I say this at the end of the video, right? Because the people who are gonna comment are not gonna see the end of the video. But you're gonna see a lot of people criticizing all these down there, that there is not one right technique, that there is other famous people doing it in a different way. Yes, I've already answered all these. It's in this video. Watch it again, okay? Anyway, that's one example, okay? But there are many different examples. There are many situations here, okay? And again, just to be controversial, there are people who pick in alternate picking and people who play in directional picking or sweep picking. One of those makes you learn faster than the other and gives you the exact same sound, and it's directional picking. Directional picking makes you learn faster, okay? It's easier to play, it's easier on your wrist, the rhythm is the same if you train it with a metronome, the sound is the same if you train it the right way, okay? And That's apparently a very controversial statement to make. Every time I say something like that, I get a lot of people. Since we are here, I'm also saying that the 3-note per string system is the easiest way to learn the scale. If you're learning your scale using the cage system, the cage system is slower in this respect. In the 3-note per string system, is faster, more versatile, easier to remember, easier to play. It's easy to play fast, it's easier to play melodically, and a number of other things. Some people are going to tell me, of course, that the cage system is not a system to learn scale. Great! Fantastic. If you're using the cage system for something else than scales, maybe it's good. But if you learn your chord using the cage system, there is a better way than that, okay, which is a bit too long to explain here. It's the way I use in my course, Complete Chord Mastery, by the way. And yes, I know I sound like an infomercial here.
Here's how to order.
But there are different ways to learn the chords that are faster than using the cage system. The cage system has a lot of fans out there. I don't want to say that those people are wrong. They're using a system and they're taking the long road. Once they learn their chords, their learning is as good as mine. Okay? Once you arrive there and you know your chords, you know your chords. It's just that it's longer and harder to learn them with the cage system, and it's shorter and easier, and you get better results sooner using other systems that don't have a name yet, okay? But so I cannot say that system, it doesn't have a name, okay? But people have been doing these other ways, using this other way to learn chords from the beginning of guitar, okay? It's not something new, not something I invented, I just organized it, okay? And it works much better. Now, even with all those disclaimers, we are going to have people writing in the comment that I don't understand the cage system, that I do not know how to use it. I could stay here hours showing you how I know the cage system really well, but honestly, it's not worth it. Either you take my word or you don't, okay? So the thing is this, given a specific problem, there is typically one solution that is easier than the other, faster to implement, okay, and it gives good results, and we're gonna call this the right solution, and then there are all the others, okay? And I spent a lot of time finding the right solution, and for some problems, I don't know which one is the right solution. For some other problems, I know which one they are, okay? So just saying, your technique has to work for you, but once you establish the problem, there is one solution. So, the original comment to this video that I am answering is both true and false at the same time, depending how you understand it, okay? Now, if you wanna see how I go about learning scales on chords, I have my 2 courses, Master of the Modes for Scale and Complete Chord Mastery for Chords. Completely up to you if you wanna take them. If you are a fan of the cage system, don't take them, because I'm not using the cage system in there. I'm actually demolishing the cage system throughout the whole course, okay? But so, completely up to you. And if you wanna check them out, check the link on the top right.
You'll be saying wow every time.
If you like these videos, smash on that like button, click on subscribe, don't forget to click on notification. If you have any comments to make, or if you want to send me some hate email, yes, please do this in the comment below. I'm here, I enjoy reading your questions. I enjoy a little bit less reading the hate email, but hey, it's whatever it is. This is Tommaso Ziglia of musictheoryforguitar.com, and until next time, enjoy!